So something I see a lot online is how can you build wealth when you don't have any money? Let's say you're starting with zero and you're trying to figure out how to build wealth. And basically, I'm going to talk about that on this video. I'm going to get into some of the strategies and things that you can do here a little later. But before we do that, let me just say, first off, you have to understand that typically you need to have some sort of active money coming in order to build wealth. I think when you look at it, at least in my opinion, building wealth is different than, having money to live on. And so some people actually love their job. They're very happy with what they do. They're passionate about their career, but maybe their career is not bringing in the type of money that they need to build, to create wealth. In fact, I would argue most jobs are not going to build wealth. In order to build wealth, you have to actively work to do that in a way of investing money or investing, whether that be in businesses or real estate or any of those things. So just your income from your job is not typically going to build wealth for you, or taking that money and putting some in savings right now, especially with, even with interest rates higher than they were a handful of years ago. So first off, have some sort of active income stream coming in. If that's from your job, great. If that's from a side hustle, great. There are tons of things that a person can do with the world that we live in right now to bring in more income. And so that would be the first thing that I would focus on is if you have a job right now, and let's say that you literally have no extra money, then first is try to cut expenses. Second is try to see if you can increase that income in some way, shape, or form. Maybe that, again, is a side hustle. That's going to be the first thing you need to focus on. Before really you focus on anything else is figuring out, okay, what am I going to do to generate more money so that I can try to put that money to work and start building wealth. So that's the first thing. Then I think kind of while you're doing that, you need to be thinking about what it is exactly that you want to do in order to build wealth. You get to a point where as you get further and further in your journey, I talk about on this channel, having multiple income streams and all of that. But in the beginning, you just need to focus on kind of one thing that you're going to do. And so for me, I'm a big proponent of real estate. I think real estate's a great way that you can build wealth. That's what I talk about on this channel. This channel is designed for new and aspiring real estate investors. That's what this channel is for. But there are a lot of other ways you can build wealth. You can build wealth with ultimately buying businesses. And when you think about buying a business, you don't have to have millions of dollars to buy a business. There's SBA loans out there where you can save up enough to get a down payment so that you can use that and leverage and buy a business that way. You can actually go in and partner with someone that has money to buy a business. So there's tons of ways that you can do that. You can create a business. You can literally build a business from scratch. You can actually end up getting into some sort of sales while you are a full-time person. Let's say, my story, I was a full-time teacher and coach. That's what I did. And then I decided I'm going to get my real estate license and my insurance license. And I was doing that on the side. And I ended up with insurance, actually, more so than real estate in the beginning. Insurance was where I was making a lot more money just doing that on the side. I was making more money selling insurance in the evenings and on Saturdays than I was full-time as a teacher and a coach, which is crazy to think about that. But that was a way that I added additional income. And so there's tons of ways to do that. But once you do that, you figure out what you want to invest in, how you want to go about building wealth. You figure out ways to raise your income. Then that's when you get into the actual investing piece. Now, I think personally, real estate is a great way to build wealth. It can be challenging if you're just trying to leave your job today. You have to be very active. So there's things like wholesaling and flipping houses and stuff like that. But as far as building wealth, I think real estate is a really great tool for that. And one of the things that you can actually do, I have a video series on this channel that goes in depth on how you can use this strategy to where you actually buy real estate, you go in, you renovate the real estate, you fix it up, you rent it out, and then you actually refinance and pull your money back out. So you have this initial capital, you buy it, you fix it up, you rent it out, you refinance it, and then you basically have that money back, and then you can do that over and over and over. And I'm going to include in the link below, if you actually, better yet, if you're interested, just say in the link below wealth. Comment, not in the link below, comment below in the comments. Just comment the word wealth. And I'll get you a copy of my free guide. It's an extensive guide on exactly how you can go about doing this. It lays everything out step by step. It's absolutely free. I'm giving it away. It's got a lot of value. Also, too, I have a full video series on this channel about how you can do that as well, and I'll put that link in the description below. But yeah, I mean, real estate is a great way. You can build a rental portfolio, and over a period of, let's say, 10 years, if you're just consistently doing this, you can look up, and in 10 years, if it's single family homes, if that's what you're doing, you can end up having, 50 rental properties, and you're going to be in very, very good shape, because those 50 rental properties, if you just look, and let's say that each one is an average of $200,000, and you've got 50 of them. First of all, that's $10 million of real estate. But here's the crazy thing. Eventually, over the course of time, those loans will be paid off. And so you're getting the debt pay down. But if those properties only appreciated 3.5% per year, all right, the very first year they appreciate, that's $350,000 in appreciation equity. I mean, that's crazy to think about. What other thing can you do that can have that sort of a just massive increase in your value, plus you're paying down your debt, so you're just massively growing your equity. And so that's what I would recommend doing. But again, there's tons of other things. Real estate might not be your thing, and you might look at businesses, either buying a business or starting a business. But yeah, I was just kind of thinking about that today. If that's something, if you want to learn more about real estate, obviously subscribe to this channel and check out the free guide I'm offering. Like I said, you can comment below, just comment wealth, and I'll send you a copy of that free guide. As always, appreciate you watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.